No. It was... God damn it. What was it? Hey, Tiago.
Please don't bother me with your nonsense today. I'm trying to get ready for Nightsvimber.
Oh yeah, that is next month, isn't it? Well, anyway, do you remember that one Alvin and the Chipmunks movie?
I see you're gonna try to keep talking to me.
I'm trying to remember a name of a song from that movie, but I just can't remember what it is.
Trying to keep my links up if you don't mind.
Like, the melody is so clear, but I just can't remember the name.
Well then, it's obvious you're not gonna leave me alone until I humor you in some way, shape, or form. So, what song was it? Bad Day? Witch Doctor? How We Roll?
No. It was a completely original song made just for the movie.
Get Monked?
No, it was something like da, 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 da. What should we do?
Oh yeah, that's Monster in You.
That's what it is. Thanks, fam.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you know, Monster Out in You. From Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman.
Fucking what?
Alvin and the Chipmunks is what I would call one of the many zombie franchises. First it exists, then it just sorta dies. Suddenly, it's back again. Probably for longer than it should be. Suddenly, once you think it's all said and done, a young scientist by the name of Nick discovers the corpse and is all like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if it was alive again? But we aren't here to talk about that cartoon. I've only seen like an episode and a half, so I don't think that's enough to accurately judge it. And the movies, yeah, I've seen them all, but I don't really care to review them simply because, well, I don't care. But today we will be taking a look at one of my first times being exposed to the Chipmunk franchise. Diddly do, my diddlers and diddlettes. I hope your day is going well, and today we will be jumping dick first into Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. Are you causing a glare? No, you're not. Let's jump right into this review. Okay, so does anyone else remember this movie coming on TV like 24/7? I understand that it was a direct-to-video release, but I swear that they used to show this all the time on Disney. As a matter of fact, I know they did, because I only remember 3 things from when I was about 3 years old. The time I broke my arm trying to fly, my first time seeing Sonic porn, and this fucking song.
How do you do? What's up with you? Little brother, Mr. Hyde. How come you're barking at the moon tonight? We don't know what you're going through. We just hope you're gonna be alright. Now tell us, what should we do? Now that the monster's out in you.
This song stuck with me for years. Sure, I didn't remember the words, but then again, this is the same child who thought he knew how to fly and tried jumping off one of those playhouses. You know, those ones that you could go in and pretend it was like a house? Yeah, that was me. I climbed on and jumped off and broke my arm. Yeah, I'm not the smartest person. I don't know what you guys think about me, but I am not a smart person. Anyway, as stated before, this was one of my first exposures to Alvin and the Chipmunks, so I thought I'd give it the love it rightfully deserves. The movie starts off with Alvin having a wet dream about the dreaded Wolfman. His screams of ecstasy are enough to wake up his brothers and Dave. When questioned about why he's making so much noise, he explains that he's been thinking about their thick-ass neighbor, Mr. Talbot. What the fuck did I write? And he's sure that he's a werewolf. They politely tell him he's fucking crazy and to go back to sleep.
I mean it, Alvin. This is getting way out of hand. Now, back to sleep, everybody. You've got school tomorrow.
On a quick side note, I'd just like to point out that Ross Bagdasarian Jr. sounds like he really couldn't care less in this scene. Probably because he's like 51 and wondering why he's still voicing these characters. He's probably still wondering the same thing at 69 years old. The next morning we learn 2 crucial things. The first is that the Chipmunk School will be performing the play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The second is that Theodore is a cuck. So much that he starts personalizing his lunches for when they are stolen by this ape-looking Chad motherfucker right here. I mean, come on, Theo. This dude looks like the love child of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Tell you what, if I was getting bullied by someone like that, I'd be lacing my sandwiches with cum. Anyway, here's where we also learn what Eleanor's role in this film is. To basically be eye candy. Which I gotta admit, she doing a pretty good job. This bitch looking just like a tasty snack. Theodore may be a cuck, but at least he has the decency to pick the bitch with some meat on her bones. But hey, I mean, they all got their quirks. Jeanette got that whole shy, nerdy thing going on. And Brittany, goddamn, she could step on my dick any day. So anyways, Alvin decides that he isn't getting enough screen time, so he decides to blow up the school.
That looks like it's coming from the school. Oh. Please don't ring, don't ring, don't. Hello?
This decision proves not to be his best one, as it cost him his spot as Mr. Hyde in the play. Principal Milliken sees this as an opening, however, to help Theodore grow a backbone. So, she has Theodore take his place. Later that night, which is when they get out of school, I guess, Jeanette throws some high-level shade at Nathan.
I just feel so sorry for Nathan. He must come from a very unloving family.
Oh, yeah, Nathan is this monkey right here. I'm gonna call him Chad, though, because that's literally what he looks like. Anyway, Alvin stops the group because he hears a noise.
Did you guys hear that? Hear what? Someone's behind us. So what? It's a public sidewalk.
I mean, yeah, you may be right, Simon, but just because it's a public sidewalk doesn't mean you won't get stabbed.
Alvin, it was just your imagination.
Imagination my ass, nigga! Long story short, they hear more sounds, they all freak out and run to their houses. The girls are smart enough to run straight to their house, but for some reason or another, the boys decide to cut through Mr. Talbot's garden. An absolutely genius move, if you ask me. Now, if he catches them, all the killer has to do is bury them in Mr. Talbot's wolfsbane. Unfortunately, for the killer, the Chipmunks make it home just in time for Dave to get a call from Miss Miller asking how the boys managed to get 3 of her girls screaming and hollering.
Hello?
While Dave is on the phone explaining chipmunk coitus, the boys settle down in the living room to watch Alvin's favorite show, Gypsy's Gone Wild, starring Madame Rhea.
Aren't you afraid this'll rot your brain? Too late.
Oh, Alvin, that's just nasty. She explains that she's selling a book called The Monster Book of Monster Facts to help monster enthusiasts notice the signs of a monster being near them. That is a lot of monster for one sentence. As it turns out, she'll also be throwing in a magical MacGuffin that I'm sure will resolve the conflict of the story at some point. A MacGuffin that Theodore seems to be enthralled with.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Just 1995. Order today before my overinsured warehouse has a mysterious fire. Ooh.
Okay, that was actually pretty good. I'll give you props for that one. However, before Alvin can call the number, he is finally confronted by Dave about the chipettes.
That was Miss Miller. She has a house full of screaming chipettes. Would you like to tell me why?
Oh, I think you already know why, Dave. Yo, I remember that from like 2nd grade. I used to think that was the good shit too. So anyway, Dave's had enough of Alvin's tomfuckery, so he decides to confiscate all of his monster memorabilia. Now I don't really care about him confiscating all of Alvin's stuff. That's just Dave being a responsible parent. For once. You don't reward a child for being a little shit. My grievances lie in this fucking scene right here.
As of now, your monster days are over.
You don't just pull a fucking poster off the wall like that. Now, some of you may be saying that Dave has every right to do it since he bought them. Well, I call bullshit. Considering the fact that posters normally cost around $4 to $6 and Alvin bought a book that cost $13.95, I have no doubt in my mind that Alvin bought those himself, so that just adds onto the disrespect. Okay, so I'm seeing here in my script that there were 2 spots where I said that Alvin lost his spot in the play. One where he blew up the school and the other when he scared the Chipettes. So either the movie just fucked up or I fucked up. I refuse to believe that it was me. I'm a perfect human being who makes no mistakes whatsoever. Anyway, since Alvin is no longer playing the lead role in the play, someone else needs to be cast.
Mr. Rochelle, I could do it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, Chad over here is voiced by Elizabeth Daily, most known for her role as Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls. Yep. There was, no real reason to bring that up. I just really like Buttercup.
I'll tell you when you can come. No one tells me when to come.
Moving on. So, as you could probably guess, Theodore is cast and he sucks because he's a scared little cuck. Meanwhile, Alvin is going batshit crazy in his room for not being able to get his fix of Werewolf Rule 34. Luckily, his copy of the Monster Book of Monster Facts arrives just in time. Just in time for what, you may ask? I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything funny to put right here. As promised, the MacGuffin also comes in the mail, which Alvin promptly chucks at Theodore. Not even questioning where it came from, he pockets the MacGuffin for later in the story. Now, while Alvin is flipping through his book, he finds a picture of a cane that Mr. Talbot uses, and he comes to the only logical conclusion.
Our dear Mr. Talbot is a werewolf, and I'm not gonna rest till I prove it.
Yep! That's where this is going. Anyway, he ropes Simon into his quest to prove that Mr. Talbot is a werewolf. And this is where we get our first song of the film, Monks on a Mission.
There's something wicked out there. We feel it in the air. It whispers, come and find me if you dare.
Honestly, I'd have to say it's probably my least favorite song in the film. Not because it's bad. I can assure you that every single song in this film is good. It just didn't hit me as hard as the other songs. Maybe the tempo was too slow or something about it, I don't know. It just didn't affect me in the right way.
We're monks on a mission. We'll keep on searching. Monks on a mission, whether by day or moonlight.
After this song is over, we get a bunch of filler of Alvin and Simon debating who's going to be on top, and Theodore sucking at his role in the play. Can you guess which one of these scenarios advances the plot? Yep! You are absolutely wrong. It is the Theodore one. So Theodore finally manages to get his lines right and...
Oh, hi, Mr. Talbot.
Hello.
Oh fucking K. As I was saying, Theodore feels super confident after reading one of his probably 100 lines right, and finally decides that it's time to go claim Eleanor's cheeks.
I'm feeling a little bit confident right now, so I'm gonna hurry and do something I've been afraid to do, okay?
Sounds great, Theodore.
Unfortunately, once he gets there, he gets cold feet and decides to give her the MacGuffin as a promise necklace instead. You know, like the cuck he is. Okay, I'm gonna break character for a second, because I know it seems like I'm making fun of Theodore a lot, but please understand that's only because he's my favorite out of the trio. Like, you don't see me making fun of Simon because I don't give two skeets about Simon. It's kind of like how when you've been friends with someone for 10 plus years and then you can literally get away with saying almost anything you want to him. So go fuck yourself, Diego. Got it. So after giving the MacGuffin to Eleanor, he heads home thinking about the day he'll finally be brave enough to play them butt cheeks like a pair of bongos. Unfortunately, that day will never come, as Theodore is suddenly attacked by a giant dog and fucking dies.
Everything's gonna be alright. Don't you be afraid when things go bump in the night. Get closer to me.
Now, you may be wondering what happened to Alvin and Simon. Well, you see, they were— oh shit, here comes Theo! As it turns out, Theodore actually survived the dog encounter. But, I kinda knew that all along.
Oh, why do I lie?
Later that night, Theodore seems to— oh fucking K. The next morning, Theo comes in the kitchen asking for steak.
Can I have steak? Medium rare?
Pretty funny, Theodore.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck you too, Dave. I'll remember this the next time you tell me to stop stealing your Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah, we'll see who's laughing then. Shit, these are good. I haven't eaten these for 3 days because I've been preparing to like actually record this part. So I forgot how good these were. Just gonna get another hand. It's another handful, just one more. So after putting the boys' food on the table, he immediately tells them to go to school. It's at this point that Simon and Alvin realize that something might be wrong with Theodore.
Come on, Teddy, old boy. Race you to school.
Trapping out the back street, running through the patch like a track meet. Zoom.
No, I am serious. He is terrible, I tell you. He's just terrible. There is not a scary bone in his body.
You're forgetting. We're doing this to improve his self-esteem.
Okay, so this scene actually does bring up a good point. You don't raise a child's self-esteem by telling them that they're good at something when they clearly aren't. It's most likely just going to instill a sense of unwarranted egotism. It's better to just help them find something that they are good at and encourage them as they get better at that activity. Yeah, sorry for getting smart on you there. I'll go back to the funny cursing now. So, Theodore is suddenly amazing at his role, and Eleanor is trying to get some of that chubby boy action. But Chad ain't having none of that. He tries to pull the rug out from under Theo, but he jumps out of the way and kills Chad in cold blood. Unfortunately, the scene was so graphic that if I were to put it up right now in this review, my entire channel would be Thanos. Later that night, Alvin decides he's fed up with Simon living. Same. So he puts forth his plan to kill him. Unfortunately, his plan comes to a screeching halt when both he and Simon realize that their brother has turned into a werewolf. They contemplate what they're gonna do with their wolfified brother as the movie segues into the reason you're all here.
Oh, brother, brother, tell us what's gotten into you lately. We're beginning to think that there is nothing in the world that you can't do. You're getting stronger and faster and bigger too. People keep on asking, is there something wrong with you? You're acting weird and talking rude and wolfing down your food. Everything lately brings the monster out in you.
This song is catchy as fuck, and if you don't like it, you need to be enrolled at Center Academy. Hands down, the best song in the film. The best song of the entire Chipmunks franchise. Don't even come at me with that Boys and Girls of Rock and Roll. You know what was going on when you clicked on this video. I should stick to the script. I'm not good at ad-libbing. Now, could I be biased? Probably. But am I right? Absolutely.
Hurry up, Jeanette. I haven't got all day. Oh, sorry. You can't talk to my sister like that. Oh, I'm so scared.
So as the nights go on, Theodore becomes progressively worse, so Alvin and Simon decide to get some professional help. They go to see Madame Rhea, and she basically tells them to kill Theodore. Yeah, I'm fucking serious. There's no meme this time. Just watch.
He's out of control.
Doesn't surprise me.
There's got to be a cure for being a werewolf, right?
Oh, of course. For one thing, you can shoot him with a silver bullet.
Shoot him? But then, wouldn't he be,
Dead? Yeah, but he'd be cured.
Yeah, see? I wasn't joking. This shit's fucked, dude. Meanwhile, back with Theodore... Neat. She does, however, give them an alternative.
Isn't there any other way?
Well, you could pop him with something silver, like a cane.
Told ya. How hard?
Hard enough to...
God, this bitch really wants Theodore dead, doesn't she? So before they leave, she tells them... Wait a minute.
Your name, it's Alvin, yes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, you owe me $13.95 for the Monster Book of Monster Fact.
Wait. Hold the fucking phone. This nigga didn't pay for the book? Well, shit, I take back everything I said about the posters. Dave has every right to tear them shits down. Damn. Fucking broke-ass nigga. Anyway, before they leave, Madame Rhea tells them that they have until the next full moon to reverse this curse, or else Theodore will be a werewolf forever. So Alvin decides it's time to take action. It's time to take action next time on Dragon Ball Z. He takes Mr. Talbot's cane, which apparently has a silver head, and gets ready to turn this trio into a permanent duo. As Alvin raises the cane to strike, he suddenly grows a conscience and decides it's probably not smart to beat the shit out of your brother with a silver cane. Unfortunately, life has other plans as Alvin proceeds to trip in a hole, causing the cane to go flying into the air, crashing down onto Theo's underdeveloped skull. This does nothing. Theodore is not affected, and he proceeds to break the cane. Alvin is then promptly blamed for this because he's Alvin. So, Dave finally asks why Alvin's been such a little shit recently, and he finally comes clean.
I can't go to Mr. Talbot's, Dave. Tonight's the school play. Yeah, that's right. And I got the most important part. Oh, right. That's probably why they call it Dr. Jekyll and his butler.
Shut your ass up, Simon. This is why no one like your ass. Damn. I've had beef with this nigga for years. I mean, how do you single-handedly ruin a movie that was already bad? Anyway, Alvin comes clean as to how he's terrified of these feelings he has for Mr. Talbot.
Mr. Talbot gives me the creeps. What if he ripped off his head and there was an alien underneath? Or he smiled and had these big vampire teeth? Or...
Alvin, please, enough. Now, since you told me the truth, you go on ahead. I'll apologize for you, and I'll get to the play just as soon as I can.
Oh, thank you, Dave. You're a lifesaver.
You are an awful father. So it's the night of the play, and Eleanor is rightfully freaking out.
Oh, Theodore, I'm so nervous. I can't remember any of my lines. Oh, don't sweat it. They'll be looking at me.
Now, I could talk about how Theodore is absolutely right, or I could talk about how the ghost of Chad is haunting his killer from the shadows. Or I could talk about neither of those things and cut back to Dave and Mr. Talbot. So in that third option, Mr. Talbot finally reveals himself to Dave, and Dave is shocked when he turns to face a giant, hairy werewolf penis. He does what he can to ward off Mr. Talbot's sexual advances and escapes from the house. What follows is still one of the funniest scenes in the film.
Oh no! I'm leading him right to the kids!
Oh god, we used to make fun of this scene all the time. Rest in peace, Aston. I love you, fam. Anyway, back to play. Theodore has finally succumbed to his sexual desires and is just going to town on the other students. He's about to take Eleanor's cheeks, but the MacGuffin from earlier reminds Theo of the cuck he truly is. So I should probably point this out. While all of this is going on, Simon and the others are doing their best to distract the disturbingly oblivious audience.
But that was just the beginning. Hold on to your hats. Then I added H2SO4 for Barbie. Pretty surprising, huh?
Yo, so like, forget all the jokes I made a bit earlier. This is the real rape scene right here. So anyway, Mr. Talbot finally arrives at the school and claims his first victim of the night. Poor, unsuspecting Brittany.
I'm gonna break your butt.
Mr. Talbot is about to claim Eleanor's cheeks too, but the White Knight in Theodore overpowers his lustful urges, and he and Mr. Talbot engage in a bloody battle. Truly, the only way to determine the victor is to have them fight to the death. Only one can survive! Don't fucking clap, what was that? So yeah, the play comes to a close, and this is the explanation that we got.
Okay, time out. I don't understand. Allow me. Mr. Talbot bit Theodore and turned him into a werewolf. Then, when Theodore bit him back, it reversed the process and cured them both.
that's not how werewolves work. So now that the play's over, the rap party is reaching its climax, and we end off on the final song of the film.
Hey boys, just what was that noise? Coming from somewhere over there. If it wasn't you and it wasn't me, then what in the wide, wide world could it be?
I don't really have anything to say about this song. I'm not much of a music analyst. That was more Asson's. Now, you may be wondering, what happened to Dave during all of this? Well, you see.
Oh, where am I? The school! Mr. Talbot!
Everything's gonna be alright. Don't you be afraid when things go bump in the night. Get closer to me.
And that was Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. Does it hold up? Well, I mean, it does to me. The animation is still good, the music is amazing, and yeah, I just genuinely enjoyed it. Now, can I see myself sitting down and watching it again? I mean, of course. But first I need to start getting ready for my next review. So with that being said, leave a comment down below letting me know what you would like to see next. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of the next time I upload. Don't forget to join the Discord server in the description. And with that being said, until next time, Diddle out.
Hey, so happy month of spooks. I didn't mention that in the video because I had completely forgotten that it was supposed to be for spooky month. But I'm saying it now in the outro. So, bye. I'm recording this at work. Leave me alone.